Hey YouTube. So as you can tell from the title, will be reviewing the film adaptation of Into the Woods. So before I begin, I cannot review this as a stage to film adaptation. Like I can't comment really on that. Like I'll make some comments on it time to time, but I saw the stage play when I was in middle school, so I barely have any recollection of what happens in it. Like I know what happens in it, but not enough to make accurate like legit comparisons. So if you're looking for an analysis of the stage play compared to the film, I cannot do that, so you might want to stop the review right here. If you're interested in a purely film review, like how the film did on its own, then feel free to stay and watch, but I can't really comment on the play. Now, anyways, if you're still here, Into the Woods. It was eh, like Like, when I say I don't mean, oh my God, it was terrible. No, no, no. I mean in the sense of like, I liked what I saw, I think, but I'd rather just see this on stage. Like, short review of the plot, I mean, it's Into the Woods, but on film. It's a watered down family friendly version of it. Like, they had to cut out a lot of scenes. I mean, not cut out, but they had to modify a lot of the story. Like Rapunzel doesn't die in this version. Uh, what else? The scene between the prince and the baker's wife was toned down. The wolf in the Red Riding Hood's character, like that, their number was toned down too. Like it was a very toned down version of the original play, which I mean, it's Disney, so you can make the argument that they were expecting kids to watch this film because it's, like based on fairy tales, and parents will probably take their kids to see it because it's Disney. But I will also make the argument that, this is based on the actual Brothers Grimm tales, so the Disney should have expected this to be dark, but anyways, what I'm getting at is the film version did fine. I mean, it was just like it was a family-friendly version of the play. If you're fine with them toning it down, then I think you'll like Into the Woods. But my main problem with this movie is not the fact that they had to tone it down. That's more of a nitpick, okay? My main problem with this movie is it. I know there are various points of this movie where it feels like it shouldn't be a movie, and let me explain. So, um, I had a similar problem in Les Mis where the scene where Hugh Jackman is singing, forgot the name of the song, but he's in a hallway and he paces back and forth in this hallway, and it looks awkward on film. But then you realize the reason why it looks awkward is because in the original play, the actor had was doing that on stage. And that's fine because he's confined to a stage. Like he can't really like move around because like even though he can move around on stage, he has to move around on the stage. You can't really do that on film. In film, you have the freedom to like explore one location, or if you can explore another location. Like you can have the film start in London and then the next scene you cut to Tokyo. Like you don't have to be restricted to like a certain area. You can go wherever you want because the camera doesn't have any restrictions. Like it can film wherever, whatever you put it in front of. So the reason why Into the Woods doesn't really feel like a film at some points is when you consider the premise of the story. It's a bunch of fairy tale characters. They're in the woods, and they show that the woods is large. All right, like there's an overhead shot where you see like the entire forest of the town, and throughout the whole play, they keep bumping into each other. Like there's a scene where Cinderella meets the baker's wife, and another scene the baker meets Jack, and then he goes along, and then he saves Little Red Riding Hood from the wolf. They keep bumping into each other, and it kills the whole like sense that these are large woods. Like yes, there are trails, but it's large. All right, it's like if you had to put them on dots. Like you'd expect them to be further out from each other, but no, it always feels like they're confined. So the fact that this is film kind of kills it. Like, uh, even though these woods are large, it doesn't. It always feels like they're confined to a certain area, like they're on a stage. You know what I mean? Now, am I making more sense? It always feels like they're confined to a certain area, like even though they have a lot of space to explore, and it just kind of kills the whole feeling of a movie. Like I'd rather just watch the stage adaptation if I feel like I'm just watching a stage. Like okay, fine. The film just feels like a stage, but you can see all like you see all angles of the stage. Like it's a circular stage rather than just like audience and stage. So that's my main problem with Into the Woods. It's not really a problem. I mean, like I like watching plays on stage, so like it's not really a problem for me, but um it feels awkward to look at as a film. Like it doesn't really feel like a film. Uh, but you know what? I like the movie, so like, I mean, I can't really complain that much. I don't really have a lot to talk about Into the Woods. I mean, I like the singing, I like the performances. I think that cast actually did pretty good. Like, I was expecting the cast to be, I was expecting a little worse, but they did fine. I think, my standouts among the cast were, I really like the kid who played Jack. Chris Pine did pretty good as the prince. The newcomer who played Little Red Riding Hood was pretty good. I forgot her name. Was it like Leela Crawford? Lila Crawford? Whatever. The baker and the baker's wife were pretty good. Was it James Corden and Emily Blunt? And of course Meryl Streep did really great as the witch. But overall, like I'm gonna end it here. Not a lot to talk about. It's a very stagey film, but if you can get past that, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but I recommend you watch the stage version because I mean the film version is pretty much the stage version, but like if you can see if you're like sitting, okay, the film feels like you're in the you're in the audience of the stage play and your seat is spinning around the stage. Like you can see all angles of the stage. So really, there's no point of watching the film if you are just gonna go see the stage play. So that's pretty much Into the Woods. Also, the play is much more uh, dangerous than the movie. So if you want a more dangerous version of the play, like the actual one, then just go see it on stage. Like don't watch the movie. I mean, what movie's fine? Just stage version's better. Okay, so that's all I got to say. Yes.